Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, playing Phoenix Point. And as usual, I've just run on from the last video a little bit, so our soldiers healed up and I've explored a few more places. A few things before we start the next mission, which will be a slightly different mission again. You get these things you can research and they'll have different priorities. There's loads of these different Pandorans that you can research. Some will give you bonus effects, and definitely early on, unless you specifically want one of the techs, like a weapon tech or something like that, it's worth doing the ones, for example, this one where it gets you 500 in food, because we've got no food. So you can often find, if you're struggling with one of these things, food, tech, or resources, you can find something that will give you a bonus, and so we're going to do that because we really want the food. We don't want our people to be hungry. Another thing before you go on a mission, I would say, that's the diplomacy tab, always try to ensure that all your soldiers have at least one grenade type thing if you can, because it's quite normal that either even early on, you'll get arm disabled, and as you can see, most of them only have two-handed weapons. The exception is a sniper who has a handgun as well, but even the melee are mostly two-handed. So if you get a disabled arm and you've got a two-handed weapon, basically you then become completely useless in the conflict unless you've got a grenade, and then you can use a grenade, and if you've got a few grenades you can still be very useful. And your weapon can also be disabled. Even if your arm isn't, sometimes they will shoot your gun, or your gun will get damaged in the explosion, and that will mean you haven't got a weapon and you can't do anything. So if you've got grenades, and there's quite a lot of different sorts you can get during the game, it's always worth having at least one. I would say more than one if you've got the space, because you can always use those. So that's something to bear in mind. So we're going to do this mission, which we haven't done before. It's a scavenger mission. Now what this is basically, I'll just start it. You go to a site, it's just on a planet, it's a desolate area, rundown buildings, always the same kind of, and you look for crates, a bit like the missions you get in XCOM, where XCOM have been attacked and they've left their crates. And they're similarly spread out, and you have to go to the crates. The crates will pop open when your person stands next to it. You can put what you want from the crate in your backpack. I would suggest not putting everything in your backpacks, because you will never have room for all the crates and everything that you can get anyway. And while you're doing that, whoever it might be, in this case it's Pandorans, but it might be bandits or somebody else, whoever, will keep attacking you and spawning in. And one thing I'll say now is, don't push it to get all the crates. You'll never get all the crates, really, because even if you do somehow manage to fend off all the enemies, sometimes there's 14 crates, and there's no way that your 6 soldiers can carry that much gear, because your backpack only has 6 spaces. So even if you go into it with an empty backpack, which I wouldn't advise, because then you'd have no ammo really, or no healing kits or grenade, which you'll need, you won't be able to carry all the stuff. So it's a hit and run. You go in, you grab as much as you can without taking too many risks, and then you run away. Another thing about this game, which occurred to me while I've been playing XCOM and this sort of side by side myself a lot recently, and one thing that I knew already, but I thought it's worth mentioning, is in XCOM you can win with just firepower. Especially the later on you go, you can win with just firepower. You can have those blue screen rounds to kill off the mechs and the sectopods, and you can have poison bullets and these kind of things, and you can outgun Advent without much difficulty, and usually if you get killed it's your fault, because there you go, it tells you. Even if you get outgunned, it's because you put somebody in a silly place, somebody ran into an area to do something. Often you get ranger that wants to run at someone with a sword, and you do that, and then you find that they've run into an area where there's 3 more advent standing. So it's something you've done that's stupid, or the enemy the AI has been very smart and done something and you didn't expect. But in this, you will never just outgun the enemies all the time. You might, in a mission you might, but overall in this game to win, you'll have to use the other abilities, such as jet jumps for heavies, which you can use for, I'll just show you actually where. I won't need it in this, but there you go. So that one is a heavy. They've got a jet jump and they could jump anywhere. We won't need to in this game, particularly in this mission, but they could. And that can be very useful to get behind enemies, to get up on the top of something. And later on, when you can add another ability, another class to your soldiers, you can have a heavy who's a sniper and a heavy who's an assault. So although only the heavies have the jet jump technology, you can get somebody else who can jet jump and then be a sniper. So you can send your sniper high up somewhere to there. That'd be really useful, or something like that. So that can be a really useful tech. And also you'll need to work with things like poison, fire, the things that kill enemies over time can be very useful in this, And also there's a tech you get later where you've got paralysing guns and pistols and darts, and those things can be very useful. You can stop enemies moving, even if they're very dangerous enemies, by just paralysing them. So you'll need to, and that's not counting positioning, and you'll need to use every ability and every tech you possibly have in this game, especially the longer you go on with it. Whereas in XCOM, you can really outgun things. And that's not bad or good. It's not a detriment to that or positive to this or vice versa. It's just how it is. Right, anyway, so this is how it works. There's the crate, so you can see this space all around the crates, and you can go to any one of those spaces, which we will do. The crate pops open nicely, makes a nice noise. There's the resource packs, and there you can see we could take the material pack. We'll take a med kit, because we have to make these things again. We'll take that because that might be useful later, and then that person has got all they can take, and there's the exit point. So once you've got those things, you can do one of two things. You can either exit and they can evacuate, or B, you can stay and you can help the other people in your unit cover what's left. So there's a mist sentinel that creates that kind of cloud thing that helps the Pandorans. It's worth shooting it because we're standing in front of it. If we weren't standing in front of it, I wouldn't prioritise that, because like I said, getting the crates and getting away is sometimes the most important thing in this game. But in this situation here, and that's standing right there waiting for it, asking for it, I would say that killing it is a priority while it's standing there. So that's dead. Also, usually I think it works in this game, is when you've killed something, you then get to research it, and like I said, researches can have benefits. Okay, so that's gone quite well. Okay. There's no point in shooting from there with that one, because I know that they'll miss. Sometimes you're not quite sure how many crates you're going to go for, because so far we've not seen that many enemies, and it all looks good. At later stages in this game, these things, there's another mist sentinel, of course there is. At a later stage in this game, the crates are more, don't enter the mist basically. I think you can work that out just by looking at what it is. You wouldn't want to go in that. So later on the crates are more spread out and it becomes more difficult. I mean, those two crates are right next to where we were standing when we came in, and the longer you go on, the more crates, sometimes the more crates there are, these better materials, better things in the packs, more packs in general, but obviously see, that one's evacuating, because he was too injured. It tells you there, which is what I said earlier. Fleeing enemies that are too injured will run away. That can be really useful. It didn't matter with him because he was going to die and we could have killed him. But later on, and that can work with factions as well, especially if they're very good tech, if you damage something a lot, it will run away. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a lot. So if you're fighting a Pandoran, I've known Pandorans, the big ones that launch the worms, for example, if you damage one of those, sometimes not huge amounts, they'll run away. They won't always, sometimes they'll stay and die. But it can be always worth trying to damage things because you might not have to kill them. In this case, that foot soldier running away made no difference because we don't care. Yeah, you see that heavy weapon, see it's good, but we got one hit I think out of 3 shots. Now that thing's got a shield, so what we're going to do is we will overwatch it because there's no point in trying to shoot through a shield. So now we want somebody, I think that one, to go and get that crate. Like I said, it's all a balance. You don't want to, as you can see from what I've said earlier, you won't be able to pick up everything because you won't have the space. So you just pick up the things you want, all the things that are going to take the most resources to make again. So that's quite expensive to make. It's going to be a bit of resources. We don't really want that. What's that? We might as well take something else because that person's not going to be able to go anywhere else to get another crate. So we might as well move back. Then, because that guy, we've got somebody else who's already overwatching and they've opened a crate, we might as well evacuate that one. And like I said, the way this has worked out is good because they're all close, but it can work out not like that. And they're close to the exit point, and that cannot be the same normally either. So, I think this crate there. Like I said, this is the thing. The object of this mission is just to get. Oh, okay, we'll get it next time. It's just to get as much stuff as you can, as quickly as you can. That's really what it is. Oh, there's a missed sentinel over there, but I'm not going to go over there. That one's had their thing. Okay, that'll do. There's one there. But again, it depends on how you're going to do the mission. If this wasn't a fetch quest to go and get the crate, it's much better to shoot those things when they're running, because when they've got their shield up they're hard to kill, but when their shield's down and they're running they're easy to shoot. And look at how much it's been damaged. Yeah, the missed sentinels are things to kill. Ow, as they would say. Yeah, the missed sentinels are things to kill if they're directly in your sight, like that one was straight away, or in a mission where you want to be around somewhere longer to do a long mission, you need to kill them because they'll keep creating mist, which will help the Pandorans. But in this kind of run and grab and run away, there's no point in running around trying to kill all those. And what I would usually think is basically if there's anything far away, let's kill that. That's got a missed sentinel near it, I'll just forget it. Yeah, there you go. So with this one, we'll get some stuff. They're things for weapons we don't have. There's a thing called a Synedrian crossbow, and there'll be things for that, and the same, that's for a Synedrian stealth class person, which we won't have access to yet. We could get those if we had the space, but we don't, and so there's no point in taking random weapons, and especially not random ammo for later on, unless you've just got lots of space to do it. So that one's done what we need to do. We can run back a little bit. Always be aware of sort of evacuating a bit. Let's somebody there. We probably can't shoot it very well, so we'll do an overwatch. There's a crate up there which we kind of like, and I think we'll take a sort of risk. We might get that one as well. No way we'll get that from there with a heavy, so we'll overwatch there in case it runs forward. That one's done all its moves, okay. But like I said, it's a balance. It's like every game and everything. You have to kind of think, what are the odds? What's the odds of being killed to get another crate? And because of the nature of this kind of mission, and you're just getting resources, there's no point in losing a soldier, which will be worth a lot of resources, not counting their training and everything, just to get one more crate. Yeah. One of the, like I said in another video, one of the slightly irritating things about this is it's quite often that you end up shooting something that's there that, you know, when you look at it, you've got a good shot, but because that's there, that whatever that is, that bollard thing, we shot 3 times into the bollard, and that's a little bit irritating. Heavies do that quite often, but yeah, it's a little bit irritating, to be honest. We're gonna have to do something if we want to get that one more crate. Okay, what we do now is let's just see where our crate grabbing person is. Let's see what the... Oh, we can go, we'll do it. We may regret this, but there's a couple of enemies and whatever. And always watch that thing where it says encumbrance. That's the limit to the weight you can carry. So, okay, and it just slows you down. So there's no point to do that and end up really slow just to get an extra round of ammo or something. And I'm going to guess that's going to be about it.
Let's go. Target hit. On my way.
Looking for an angle.
Surely that's going to die. It's got 9 health. He's bleeding, it must die. Yeah, it's bleeding 20, so let's not waste our shots on that. This one can do an overwatch on whatever the hell that is around there. It doesn't look very friendly. Same them on that one.
Nothing's getting past.
And that will be it. And as you can see, you know, these early missions, these early fetch supply missions, they're not difficult, but they get progressively more difficult. Obviously the enemies get tougher. The crates aren't always just there waiting for you. But now we've done, it says at the top there, you can see resource pack 7 of 14. But we've used, like most of our people, to pick up stuff. And, you know, we've probably got, maybe picked up 4 crates. So we've got 2 people left who have the possibility of picking up crates, but they're only going to get 2 crates. They've only got inventory for 2. The rest of the people have inventory that's full. So then there's no point of running around to try and find these other crates when the most we'd ever get now is access to 2 more. So it's time to leave. We won't leave one person on their own. That's not very nice.
They can't stop me.
But this is kind of ideally how these missions go. Ideally, you end up doing something very similar to this. You go in, get most of your soldiers' inventories filled up with what's in a crate. Let those mist sentinels get on with what they're doing, because we don't need to go there. We don't care what they're doing. And get what you can. Fill up as many of your soldiers' inventories, which, like I said, you won't fill up all the crates that you find anyway. Even if you found 7, you won't have 7 people's inventories to fill up. And then run away. And this has gone exactly kind of how you'd want it to go. It's almost gone textbook, as they say. So I think everyone can evacuate now, so we don't need to hang around with anyone overwatching. We'll just go.
Relocating.
I think there is a couple of vehicles. There's a Phoenix vehicle, and there's vehicles you can get from the other factions as well. And when you have those, you can, I'm sure, fill up more things from crates. You could probably put them in the vehicles. I can't remember, because I've never taken one of those vehicles on one of these missions. But I'm sure from memory they have storage, and I think you can probably do that. Don't quote me on that, but I think you can. But I've never taken one of those vehicles on one of these missions, because basically those vehicles take a long time to make, they cost a lot of storage, and for the fact that you might get a few more crates, the chance that, especially further forward, when you've got the resources to make those things and have those things, the chance that one of your vehicles will be destroyed is not worth risking just to maybe get a couple of crates. It's not worth it. So that was exactly how you'd want that to go. Like I said, it went exactly how I'd have planned it in my head. Grabbed the nearest crates, no one got really shot up, got what we wanted to get. I think we got almost all we could have possibly got, bearing in mind there was mist sentinels, which I'm sure they've covered some of the crates with their mist, and if you go in the mist you lose will points, and that's not very good. Plus you never really know what's in the mist, as in other Pandorans and things. So there you go, we've got what we got, which is all good. We got 400 in resources and 300 in tech. Didn't get any food. I don't think you ever find food in those crates. I've never found food. Because we got a little bit shot up, we're going to go back home to our base, because you never know. I would always say, when you're out on a mission, even if you only get slightly shot up, or you're going to, let's just show you. So everyone's slightly lost stamina, everyone's slightly lost hit points. Not a lot, some of them haven't lost any hit points, but I'd always recommend going back and healing, because if you are out, it's very tempting, like when wherever we were, to go, oh, let's just go and look at that site because it's next to us. But if you find something there and you're already slightly injured, or there's another mission that turns up, like one of the havens is attacked, and we were there doing that mission, and we went to there to search that, and one of the havens over here is being attacked, there's no way we can go back and heal and get back up to the mission. So basically we wouldn't be able to do that mission. So I would always advise going back to your base if you're slightly injured. So yeah, we've done that. People are, as usual, slightly shot up. You will I've never had a mission in this game where someone didn't get slightly injured. It just doesn't happen. Even with that first mission ever with the worms, somewhere a worm's going to poison you or set fire to you, whatever sort of worm it is. Worms are like that. So we haven't got any food, but we're going to get food because we're researching something that will give us some food. And there you see, as I said, when you kill something, you get to research it. So we get a mist sentinel, and it means if we kill mist sentinels, you get increased damage against them, which is useful, but they're not the biggest worry in the world. So anyway, thanks for watching. That was another sort of mission which just came up at the right moment. And next time we'll probably do one of these missions, which is a more story mission, a Phoenix Point mission, which is one of these ones here. Probably that one or that one. Or we might do a faction mission, we'll see. So next time we'll do one of those missions, unless there's a haven being attacked and we have to go to their rescue in the meantime. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. See you soon.